Hello and welcome to the Priggya Arora Show, where we discuss law and entrepreneurship with people who have been there and done that. My name is Priggya Arora, founder of PA Legal, an intellectual property law firm. And our guest for today is Daisy Doardo. She is a lawyer who is an expert in personal branding for lawyers. So welcome Daisy on the show.
Hi, welcome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Daisy, for accepting our invitation. And let's start with a warm-up question, which is, what is one thing in life you cannot live without?
One thing, only one thing. It's probably my dog Yoshi.
Wow.
She's an angel and she's always by my side when I'm working at home. And she lights up my days.
I know. So this has been going on Instagram a lot. Like, if you want to be happy, have a dog with you, and if you want to be more happy, have another one.
It's true. I would get two if I could have one to keep her company.
Yeah, even I have two dogs, so I relate to that so much. Yeah. So Daisy, now can you tell us your life story and why did you choose law, a career in legal field?
Sure. So I used to work in insurance since I was about 18, and I made my way through personal lines, high net worth, and then into commercial. And I always felt like I wanted to do more. I didn't have a strong sense of purpose in what I was doing. And you only get one life, and I want to spend it doing something exciting where I can make a difference. So that is why I decided to retrain in law. In about 2018, I think it was, I was unfortunately involved in an employment dispute, and I had to litigate that for myself. And it was awful. It was a really horrible thing to have to go through. But I found that I understood the process of it. And after that was out the way and I was thinking about what do I want to do next, I thought if I could get myself in a position where I can help other people with things like that and really make a difference in their lives, then that's what I wanted to do. So I decided to start university and study law. Here I am 3 years later. I've got 1 year left of my degree. So it's really exciting.
Wow, that's awesome. And you're already working with lawyers. And how does that feel, like doing a degree side by side and already working with lawyers?
I feel really privileged to get the opportunity to, because it's, as a law student, it can be really difficult to get legal experience and get your foot in the door. So I made about 20 applications to law firms during my foundation year for paralegal work, and I got rejected by all of them. So I met a private investigator online and I applied for an internship at his company, and we had a chat and he passed me on to a charity called Appeal. And I ended up volunteering for them for about 6 months on a miscarriage of justice case. So that was amazing to get that opportunity, and I got my first legal experience. And from there, I was a trainee solicitor working in commercial on qualifying work experience placement last year, and now I'm paralegaling in the personal injury team at Inspire Legal.
Wow, that's great. And Daisy, before getting into branding and your forte, you have mentioned in your story as well that you have been from suicidal to unstoppable. So can you tell us something about that incident? Because I think it will help people who are struggling with it, and they'll get some hope out of it, that everybody goes through that time probably.
Sure. I started speaking up about my mental health journey a few years ago now, because I noticed that when I shared things that I've been to in respect of mental health, so many people have been through similar things, but no one seems to talk about it. So there's this pervasive sense of shame. And I really don't think there should be, because the shame can make the trauma and dealing with that trauma so much harder unnecessarily. So I started posting on LinkedIn, of all places. And yeah, it's been really incredible to go from where I was. So as a teenager, about 14, I started self-harming, and I really struggled with that for many years. I was diagnosed with depression at 15 or 16. I tried to take my own life a few times as a teenager, and I ended up being admitted to the psychiatric ward on 2 occasions, actually. And it was a really, really difficult time for me. So I dropped out of sixth form twice because of depression and suicide attempts. And that really put a stopper in my education for quite a few years. I struggled to keep a job because of it, and ended up signing on to disability benefits and sick benefits to pay the bills. It was a really horrible part of my life. And I've been through years of therapy. I mean, I've left my home island and moved to England. I've kind of made a whole new life and dealt with a lot of the childhood trauma that was driving that depression and those feelings and struggles that I had. And now I'm in a position where I've come through it, and I feel privileged actually that I can speak about it openly and use it for good and find some kind of purpose in what otherwise would have just been a horrible, pointless part of my life. So yeah, hopefully I can just start conversations around it and break down some of those barriers and the stigma and the shame, because just because you have struggled with depression and being suicidal, that doesn't define who you're going to be.
So that's so true, Daisy. And I also feel sometimes sad that people don't come out openly and tell about, these things.
Yeah.
So this is an offbeat question. So can you tell us how to break the barrier of shame, or discuss about it, or come out and speak about it? Because I think shame is a very, very big aspect. And I read Brené Brown, and I read it a lot, and it's about imperfection and how to deal with shame. So can you tell us your way of dealing with shame?
It's an incredibly difficult thing to overcome, and I'm not sure there's one single way that you can do it. If I think back, going to therapy has been one of the most helpful things for me. Having a trained professional, a trauma-informed professional to work through that trauma with. I did a lot of inner child work, a lot of self-forgiveness, and I suppose a stoic philosophy of it's happened, I accept it, what am I going to do now? And changing the narrative from being a victim and being powerless to I'm in control of my destiny. I make choices that create the reality that I live in today. Luck always plays its part. There's always things that we can't change, but we can change a lot more than we think we can. So that's helped me a lot to take ownership of my circumstances and feel comfortable speaking about it, because can't change the past, but I can change the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have spoken about the most important elements. That is, first is the acceptance, which is, I think, the most difficult element to, okay, accept it. But the thing is, it is really, really difficult. And then once you accept it, you get a lot of freedom so that you can think about taking control on your situations.
Definitely, particularly when it's trauma subjected on you by other people and their behavior. When life's been very unfair, it's very hard to accept that, but it is your life. And I've seen too many people spend their whole lives haunted by trauma, and I don't want to be in that situation forever. I don't know if I would survive it if I stayed in that forever, and I'm lucky to have been able to access proper support, which I wish everybody could access.
Yeah, wow, awesome. So now, Daisy, coming to branding for lawyers, which is your forte, and let's speak something fun, which is, can you explain to lawyers why lawyers are different way, and why branding is important, like personal branding is important for them?
Personal branding is really important in law, perhaps more so than in other industries, because legal services revolve a lot around trust and building trust. Your clients need to trust you, or they'll go to a different lawyer. It's a way that you can develop that trust in building your pipeline of future clients. So it helps you to build long-term relationships that go further than just one single transaction. if your clients know you on a personal level and they connect with you on that level, they'll come back to you again and again, which is a much more efficient way of generating new business for yourself and your firm. I think it's also important in helping lawyers move away from billing at an hourly rate, because almost 60% of people will pay more for services from professionals who have a strong personal brand. So it gives you that freedom to play around with different pricing models and see if something different could work for your business.
Wow. Yeah, I think, trust, because see, lawyers are not able to advertise, but a lot of personal tinges involved in providing the service, because computer is not doing the service, the person is doing the service. So the best way to do is to establish a personal brand. And as you said, if we have the personal brand, we can experiment with the prices, because trust is already established in some sense. Like, people go through your LinkedIn, they go through your YouTube channel or any social media, and that kind of vibes or the trust they feel, because they feel that they already have a personal brand. So I think, yeah, that is there. So Daisy, now can you tell us a few steps which lawyers can take care of while developing a personal brand, or any advice that you want to give to the lawyers who want to develop a personal brand?
Authenticity is really important in personal branding, and it can be very easy to get a bit swept away in it. For example, you can pay someone to write your posts for you, and to me, it muddies the waters a bit, because you're projecting an image of yourself on social media, and the more accurate that image can be, and the more that is just an extension of you rather than some falsified, idealized version of yourself, the better that's going to be. For things like imposter syndrome and your own mental health, we have this trouble in our personal lives of looking at an Instagram feed and wishing your real life lived up to it. Don't do that in your professional life too. Like, try and keep it realistic and authentic. And more importantly, we're looking at a new generation of business owners rising up through the ranks at the moment, and Gen Zs and millennials. They want to do business with people who are making a difference and who believe in what they believe. It's about shared values. We've inherited a world that's in a very, very sorry state. And the majority of the young entrepreneurs that I know, they're starting businesses because they want to make a difference. They're purpose driven. So if you can showcase that you share those values with whoever your target market is, and I recommend being authentic in that rather than trying to fake it, because it's built on trust and people will eventually be able to tell if you're faking it. Just showcase your values, and people who share them will want to support your business if they feel the same.
Yeah, I think you've rightly said, authenticity is the key, because if we are going to fake it on the social media or anywhere, audience is going to catch it, and then it becomes it becomes very difficult. Even if you work with them, they'll know that, all right, we were in some kind of different world, that this is not the same person.
Even within your own business, I mean, how many times have we worked in places where they have the values on the wall in massive lettering? I remember working at a big insurance company once, and they had a value over the printer. It's something about investing in education for the staff, and the amount of people who would walk over to it kind of make some like negative comment because they didn't live up to that value. So it actually, instead of building any kind of positive morale, it just did the opposite, because it was fake, or because they didn't demonstrate that in their actions. There was no authenticity. So authenticity is really, really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is also important. Okay, you're going to deal with the person there. It is the person doing the work. So yeah, I think trust, authenticity, whatever you write is purpose driven. It's not taken from somewhere else and just put it out there. So these are a few factors. So now coming to, what do you think are your biggest strengths and maybe some weaknesses when it comes to your work of personal branding. So that's great, Daisy. So Daisy, now can you tell us some of your strengths and maybe some of your weaknesses that helps you or maybe come in the way when you deal with entrepreneurship in and your business of personal branding?
While starting my own business, I think the biggest strength that I've uncovered or harnessed is my resilience. Once I make my mind up that I'm going to do something, there's not much that will get in my way. So taking my business for an example, I started my first business in 2019 in my foundation year. It was a drop shipping store for scuba diving merchandise, and I had a £500 starting budget which quickly disappeared. I ran out of money and I had to close it down, but that didn't stop me. I'm back at it again, and I've had a few setbacks since I soft launched the business in February, but there's every time I encounter a challenge or a hurdle, or I don't know how to do something, I just find the answers and do it. Once I'm quite determined like that, if I put my mind to it, like qualifying as a solicitor, hopefully I'll qualify in 2026. That's been quite a journey, but when I put my mind to something, not a lot's going to get in my way. I think the biggest weakness that I faced as an entrepreneur is lack of focus, which holds me back a lot. I'm a solo founder, so nothing stops me from just changing my mind, changing course, changing direction. And it can be quite frustrating when I work really hard on something and then a week later I think, oh no, actually I think this a different route would be more effective. It's a bit of a time. I suppose it's partly procrastination.
Yeah.
But I have a mentor to help me and a business coach to help me overcome that, set goals and kind of have that accountability aspect of it.
Wow. So I understand resilience is your strength, and if you want to do it, maybe the path you choose may be different because there is less of focus, but I think there is a lot of freedom to experiment when you are solopreneurs. That's
true. Yeah, there is
a lot of freedom to experiment. If you're not a solopreneur, you have investors sitting on your head. It's very difficult to find that decision making in experimentation.
That's a really good way of looking at it, because yes, I've changed my mind a lot, but I've been free to do that when I've started on a course and then decided that actually my product would look better in a different way or in a different format, or I should prioritize something else. I can change my mind. So maybe in a way it's a weakness, but in other ways it's been beneficial.
Yeah, that's definitely there. And Daisy also spoke about mentors. So can you tell us some key elements why mentors are important or how they help us keeping on track?
So I'm a law student at the University of Essex, and on campus there is Studio X, and it's a community, a platform to support student entrepreneurship at the university. And this year I've been part of their Evolve pre-accelerator incubator program, or pre-incubator accelerator program, I can't remember. Kind of supporting us in launching our own businesses. And as part of that program, I've been assigned a mentor, someone that I've known for a few years anyway, and it's been brilliant to have that kind of guidance. I've also had informal mentors, people that I've gotten to know through social media, other legal entrepreneurs, and their support has been just really, really, really valuable. I massively appreciate their time and their input. Because I think when you're starting something, particularly on your own as a solo founder, you want to be able to bounce things off other people and get feedback and test ideas and be challenged and develop things. So mentorship is, if you can find yourself a mentor if you're starting a business, please do.
Yeah, definitely. I think mentors keep us on track. If there were no mentors in my life, I don't know, I wouldn't have started a business. Probably.
I think a good note on mentorship as well is kind of be fairly careful who you choose as a mentor, because
Yeah,
we all have different ideas about how we want to live, what we want our businesses to look like. And what you don't really want is someone coming in and imposing their
correct.
views on you, because it can massively shape your business and your future. So just be clear about what it is you actually want.
Correct, absolutely. So, Daisy, now coming to our quick rapid fire round, it's a 3-2-1 rapid fire round. So, I'll quickly ask you three questions. What are three things in life you're grateful for?
My dog Yoshi, because she is right here and she's always smiling and cheering me up. Secondly, I'm going to say our garden, because it is a pleasure to be able to bring my laptop out here and work from outside. Thirdly, it's being self-employed, because I can do whatever I want and come work from my garden if I like, with my
Wow,
dog.
awesome. Two traits that you think are useful for a legal career.
Resilience. There are going to be so many challenges to overcome. And secondly, purpose. I'm going to go for purpose, because I've unfortunately met a lot of lawyers who have left the industry because it wasn't giving them fulfillment in that way, and they didn't have purpose in their work. So if you can find a sense of purpose in it early on and choose a path in the law that's going to help you find that, or find another outlet about something you care about, purpose.
And one aspiration you have for the future.
Found a law firm. I'm going to found my own law firm one day.
Wow, awesome. So Daisy, as you spoke about purpose a lot, what is your purpose? And second is how do people find their purpose? I know that's a very cliche question, but yes, people who are purpose driven should maybe share their part of the story with other.
That is such a tough question. It's something that I have thought a lot about, and obviously starting a law degree was a massive decision that I didn't make without any purpose behind that. But it also changes over time, and I'm kind of at a stage now where I'm starting to think about what area of law do I want to qualify in. So it's a massive thing, and it's something that I need to regularly redefine. But if I was to kind of put it into a sentence, it's all about empowering other people. I've overcome a lot of obstacles, and I know how difficult it can be. And I don't think it would be right to say I've been privileged, because I certainly haven't been. But I've also had access to support and mentorship and therapy and things that other people just don't have. So I want to break down barriers so that people can self-actualize and be happy and live the lives they want to live, so that they can go on and make a difference in other people's lives, and the ripple effect goes on forever.
Yeah, wow, awesome. So such a beautiful thing to share. The ripple effect will definitely go on, Daisy. So Daisy, can you share some key takeaways for lawyers and legal entrepreneurs?
I would say, and this is something that I'm currently working on, figure out what you want, and have that defined purpose, that mission, that goal that you're working towards, because it is a long journey. This is potentially a career that could span your entire lifetime. And I've seen lots of people sacrifice the most important things in life: time, health, time with loved ones, having a family, things that they really, really wanted or needed for their career. So make sure that that's actually what you want, and you're not just doing it because you're expected to, or because you think that's what you need to do to be successful. We have so much more control over our lives than we realize, and we only get one shot. So get out of it what you want.
Wow. So figure out what you want, find a purpose, and be unstoppable. Just get what you want.
Yeah. And be kind. Yeah, don't get what you want by stepping on other people.
Yeah. That's the most important thing. Be kind and humble. Don't hurt people around you.
No.
People are precious.
Definitely.
So Daisy, thank you for being on the show, and thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. I think it was a great episode, and audience is going to love it.
No problem. Thank you for having me. It's been so nice to come and talk about splash branding. I'm so early in this journey, and it's just lovely to share. So thank you.
Thank you. Hey there. Thank you for attending today's session. If you enjoyed today's session, do follow our channel and consider sharing it with a friend. My name is Priggya Arora, daughter of inspiring parents, alumna of IIT Kharagpur, engineer turned lawyer and entrepreneur, and now founder of PA Legal, where we help creators and innovators protect their intellectual property. Thank you.